If you've been wondering what the future of the DC Universe looks like, well, James Gunn and Peter Safran have been cooking up something pretty wild. With new characters stepping into the spotlight and classic heroes getting fresh takes, there's a lot on the way for both hardcore fans and casual moviegoers. So, let's break down all the best upcoming DC projects that are either confirmed or already in the works for 2025, 2026, and a bit beyond. Peacemaker Season 2, August 21st, 2025. For a while there, nobody was really sure what was going to happen with Peacemaker Season 2. After the whole DCU reboot, things were looking a little shaky. Fans were left wondering, is it cancelled? Is it still happening? But then, James Gunn swooped in like a superhero and dropped a full roadmap of what's coming in the new DC Universe. And yes, Peacemaker was right there on the list. Max recently dropped a big teaser reel for all their upcoming shows, and tucked inside that was a quick look at Peacemaker Season 2. It's not much, just a glimpse, but it hints at a bigger, crazier season ahead. You won't find a full trailer on YouTube just yet, but if you check out Max's X account, they've posted the clip separately. As far as the cast goes, it's mostly the Dream Team from Season 1 returning. John Cena is back in the helmet, obviously, along with Danielle Brooks as Leota Adebayo, Steve Agee as Economos, and Freddie Stroma as the ever-entertaining Vigilante. New characters are joining the party too, like Sol Rodriguez as Sasha Bordeaux, Tim Meadows as Agent Langston Fleury, and Bray Noel as White Rabbit. And here's the big one. Frank Grillo is coming in as Rick Flag Sr., a character he voiced in Creature Commandos. That's huge, because it connects this show to Gunn's wider DCU plans. Gunn also confirmed that Peacemaker Season 1 is still canon, so this next chapter isn't just a sequel, it's helping build the new DC world. And from the sound of it, we're in for a wild ride. Superman, July 11th, 2025. Formerly titled Superman Legacy, this film is now just called Superman, and it officially launches James Gunn's new DC universe. Mark your calendars for July 11th, 2025, because that's when David Corenswet will suit up as the new Man of Steel. Written and directed by Gunn himself, this movie isn't your typical origin story. Instead, it zooms in on Superman trying to find balance between his Kryptonian roots and his very human upbringing on Earth. Safran described him as kindness in a world that thinks kindness is old-fashioned, which honestly sounds like exactly what we need right now. Alongside Corenswet, we've got the marvelous Mrs. Maisel star Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane, and they're not the only iconic character showing up. Nathan Fillion is going Green Lantern mode as Guy Gardner, Eddie Cathegay is stepping in as Mr. Terrific, and Isabella Merced is taking flight as Hawkgirl. Oh, and don't forget Jimmy Olsen and Metamorpho. Yep, this thing is stacked, and if you haven't already, the trailer is out now, so go check it out for your first real look. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, June 26, 2026. Another massive highlight in the DC slate is Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which drops in summer 2026. It's based on Tom King's comic series, and this isn't the cheerful, sunshine-filled Kara Zor-El you may be used to. James Gunn explained that while Superman was raised on Earth by a loving family, Supergirl's life was way more brutal. She spent her first 14 years watching people die on a Kryptonian rock fragment. So yeah, she's a little rougher around the edges. Millie Alcock, who impressed everyone in House of the Dragon, will bring this grittier version of Supergirl to life. Plus, she's rumored to appear in Superman, so fans won't have to wait long to get their first glimpse of her. And that is not all. James Gunn has confirmed that Jason Momoa will play Lobo in the DC universe. Momoa's role as Lobo was announced in December 2024 and will be part of the film Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. Gunn even revealed that he had been considering Momoa for the role for years, sharing a text message Momoa sent him in 2022. Clayface, September 11th, 2026. Now here's where things get a little creepier, in a good way. A Clayface movie is officially in the works, and it's being pitched as a body horror story centered around one of Batman's most twisted villains. Mike Flanagan is writing it, and there's talk that British director James Watkins is being considered to direct. We don't know a ton yet, but filming is supposed to start this summer, so more details should start rolling in soon. Gunn has already shut down a few casting rumors, so it's clear they're being very careful with this one. Expect some dark, intense vibes here. On the other hand, I'm genuinely fascinated enough by the recent conversations about Daniel Radcliffe potentially becoming the DCU Clayface movie's lead actor that I think this scenario becoming reality would earn DC my lifelong movie interest, basically forever after. I mean, Daniel Radcliffe is one of those names that everyone knows. Even if you somehow never saw Harry Potter, you still know Daniel Radcliffe. He's been around since the early 2000s and could have easily coasted on his wizarding fame, but instead, the man went all in on the weird, the wild, and the wonderfully unexpected. The Batman 2, October 1st, 2027. Even though DC is heading in a new direction, Matt Reeves' The Batman universe is staying firmly in place. The sequel to Robert Pattinson's noir-flavored take on The Dark Knight has been delayed to 2027, but it's still happening. Reeves is back as writer and director, and Pattinson will once again be under the cowl. We still don't know which villains will show up, though there are whispers about Professor Pig, Scarecrow, and maybe even Clayface again. But don't expect this to tie into the larger DCU. Gunn confirmed that this will stay in its own Elseworlds universe. So, while we're waiting a while, at least we know it's safe. The Brave and the Bold, TBA. The Brave and the Bold. It's going to introduce a fresh take on Batman, plus his son. Yep, Bruce Wayne is teaming up with his son Damian Wayne, who also happens to be the new Robin. Now, don't get too excited just yet. This movie doesn't have a release date. Andy Muschietti is set to direct, but with Matt Reeves' The Batman Part 2 delayed until 2027, it sounds like The Brave and the Bold might take a while too. DC wants to make sure they don't confuse audiences with two different Batmen at once, so this one's going to wait its turn. And speaking of that, no, Robert Pattinson isn't the Batman in this movie. His version is off doing his own thing in a separate corner of the DC multiverse. Gunn and Safran are bringing in a totally new Bruce Wayne, somewhat a bit older. Think more Ben Affleck than Pattinson, to match up with the storyline featuring his son. The story will be based on Grant Morrison's Batman and Son comics, which introduced Damian, Bruce's surprise kid with Talia al Ghul. Sergeant Rock, TBA. Rumor has it Daniel Craig might be stepping into the DC world as Sergeant Rock, a character who's not exactly a household name, but still pretty iconic in comic book circles. Sergeant Rock is an old-school World War II hero from DC Comics who first showed up back in 1959. He's not your typical cape-wearing superhero, more of a tough-as-nails soldier who leads his team, Easy Company, through brutal war zones. No powers, just guts, a gun, and some serious instincts, including this wild combat antenna that basically acts like a sixth sense on the battlefield. Now, DC's new universe officially kicks off with Creature Commandos in 2024 and Superman in 2025, but there's always room for side projects under their Elseworlds banner. Think stuff like The Batman or Joker. Sergeant Rock could land in either camp. They might modernize him to fit the current DCU or keep it gritty and historical in its own timeline. Daniel Craig is reportedly in talks to take on the role, which would be his first dive into the superhero world. Funny enough, he almost played Balder the Brave in Doctor Strange 2, but that didn't pan out. If this project happens, it could tie into things like Suicide Squad or Creature Commandos. Sergeant Rock even led them in one animated short. So whether it's a gritty standalone war flick or a clever tie-in to the larger DCU, there's some real potential here. Teen Titans, TBA. Okay, let's talk about something fans have been hoping for years. Teen Titans is finally getting the big screen treatment. After a ton of rumors and a healthy dose of skepticism, James Gunn confirmed in February 2025 that a Teen Titans movie is officially in the works. Ana Nogueira, who's already writing Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, is handling the script here too, and though it's still early days, this is huge news. The Titans are a perfect fit for the DCU, especially as they start introducing alternate teams alongside the Justice League. The Teen Titans have always been popular, on screen and in the comics. The early 2000s Cartoon Network show remains a fan favorite, and Teen Titans Go might have leaned more into comedy, but it's still going strong with hundreds of episodes and even a feature film under its belt. Lanterns 2026 TBA. Now let's talk about Lanterns, one of the most anticipated shows in James Gunn's revamped DC Universe. We don't have a confirmed release date just yet, but it's aiming for a 2026 drop. Why the wait? Well, it's currently in the early stages of filming, with production set to wrap up sometime mid-2025. Then they've got a ton of VFX work to do, so it makes sense. Here's what's cool about Lanterns. It's not your typical superhero show. James Gunn describes it as a true detective-style mystery, but with green lanterns. It follows Jon Stewart, played by Aaron Pierre, and Hal Jordan, played by Kyle Chandler, Coach Taylor from Friday Night Lights, as two intergalactic cops investigating a murder right here on Earth. So, less flying through space and more gritty, grounded detective stuff, at least for Season 1. The cast is stacked. Nathan Fillion returns as Guy Gardner, after showing up in the Superman movie, and Ulrich Thompson is playing Sinestro, though it's unclear if he's already gone full villain or still wearing green. We've also got Kelly MacDonald, Garrett Dillahunt, Purna Jagannathan, Jason Ritter, Nicole Ari Parker, and J. Alphonse Nicholson in various supporting roles. Waller, TBA. Originally, Waller was supposed to drop before Peacemaker Season 2, but then the Hollywood strikes happened and shuffled everything around. Right now, there's no official release date, and things are a bit up in the air. Still, the two shows are expected to be pretty connected. Remember how Peacemaker Season 1 ended? Leota Adebayo, played by Danielle Brooks from Orange is the New Black, publicly exposed Amanda Waller's shady Task Force X dealings. That's definitely going to carry over into Waller. The show's being developed by Doom Patrol creator Jeremy Carver, and Viola Davis is back as the fierce Amanda Waller. James Gunn has hyped it up big time, calling it the greatest ever. Bold claim, but we'll have to wait and see if it lives up to the hype. For now, it's still cooking in development, and Gunn's even hinted that it's on the burner until things align a bit more. Blue Beetle spin-off, TBA. Okay, so we all thought Blue Beetle would be a one-and-done in the old DCEU, right? Surprise! He's getting a second chance, but this time in animated form. There's a brand new animated Blue Beetle series in development that continues the story from the 2023 movie. Not much has been revealed about it yet. No title, no release window, but it's happening. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, now's a good time to catch up. It might even inspire a rewatch of the entire DC movie timeline. Booster Gold, TBA. Now here's one that could be a ton of fun. Booster Gold isn't your average superhero. In fact, he's more of a wannabe, using futuristic tech to pose as a hero in the present day. If that sounds like a setup for a comedy, you're probably right. James Gunn described Booster as the embodiment of imposter syndrome, which already gives this series a unique twist. As of early 2025, the show is still in development. DC was originally waiting on a specific showrunner who was super interested, but that person eventually dropped out. They've now moved forward with someone else, so the project is still alive and moving along, just a little slower than planned. My Adventures with Green Lantern, TBA. This upcoming animated series focuses on teenager Jessica Cruz, who randomly gets chosen by a Green Lantern power ring. But being picked by a mystical alien ring isn't all fun and games. Along with the powers comes a whole bunch of intergalactic problems, debris from a lantern war, enemies from space, and more chaos than she bargained for. The show is being executive produced by Jake Wyatt, with Stephanie Gonzaga also involved. We don't have a premiere date, and there haven't been any recent updates, so it's kind of in limbo right now. Still, it sounds like a solid way to bring fresh Green Lantern content to the screen. DC Superpowers, TBA. DC Superpowers is another animated series, and this one set in a superhero school. Picture a class of up-and-coming young heroes: Lightning, Flash, Plastic Man, Aquagirl, Green Lantern, and Terra, training under the watchful eye of Principal Martian Manhunter. It's giving sky-high vibes, but in animated DC form. Matt Beans is executive producing, and Michael Chang is stepping in as supervising producer. This one sounds like it could be a fun watch, especially for younger audiences or anyone into the classic Saturday morning cartoon style. Starfire TBA. We're also getting an animated Starfire origin story. The series will follow Starfire on her home planet, Tamaran, where she stumbles upon a spaceship and decides to take it for a cosmic joyride. Her journey will introduce us to a wild crew: space biker Crush, Fern, who's all about plants, and Princess Amethyst from Gem World. Expect colorful adventures involving space dolphins, yep, you heard that right, surfing through nebulae, and some galaxy-sized drama. Josie Campbell is heading things up as executive producer, with Brianne Druhard on board as co-executive producer. Still no word on a release date, but we're excited for the vibes. Paradise Lost TBA. And last but definitely not least, Paradise Lost is coming, and it's being described as a Game of Thrones-style political drama set on Wonder Woman's home island. That means lots of intrigue, power struggles, and drama, all within a society of Amazonian women. James Gunn teased some of the themes. How did this society come about? Who runs it? What are the rules? What kind of games do people play to rise to the top? While there haven't been many recent updates, the show is still in development and sounds like it could be a real standout. So yeah, there's a lot going on behind the scenes at DC, even if we don't have all the details yet. Some of these shows are still early in development, others are quietly moving forward, and a few are just waiting for the right moment to shine. One thing's for sure though, the DC Universe is far from done surprising us. And that's a wrap for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next one.